So, age regret. Oh, fuck. I already did this intro. I don't really care enough, though. So, age regressors. They're a heavily clowned on species of VRChat users. But what if, in a hypothetical universe, these people might just be normal? And popular demand from you guys says I should absolutely do this video. Now, if you want to see my notes, they'll be on screen now just like the last video. So, basically, I interviewed age regressors to find out what all this weird shit's about, and if there's anything, I don't know, freaky under the surface. Our first interviewee, Mindless, is a co-owner of a age regression group on VRChat. Now, when I was searching through interests, I found him and a few other interesting individuals. But once presented with the idea, they were happy to go in for an interview.
My name is Mindless. I go by he, him. I'm part of a lot of fandoms, including the age regression community.
What is age regression? Summarize it however you feel needed.
Okay. There is a few types of age regression. Age regression is basically when you had an unfinished or uncompleted childhood, or when your brain develops into more than just a child. It could develop as early as 12 or 13, and basically it's like, you had an unfinished childhood or whatever, and so your brain is like, it doesn't have those memories, and so you get like really, it's like a coping trauma pretty much, where you revert into the age of like under 10 and to like try to get those memories back. It could be very euphoric for people who actually do it.
Alright.
And
Keep talking.
another reason someone might age regress is for things like DID or OSDD. Basically, you could develop them around the same time. You revert to an age of a child whenever you start dissociating, and then when you come back, there's like a chance that you could be into like an alter that's like a child perchance. And so basically, for those people, they would prefer like a world that is dedicated to like quote unquote daycares, because it could probably help them.
Alright, you seem very educated on the subject, I won't lie. At least compared to
Uh,
the few other people I've talked to who essentially were just bashing me the whole time for making YouTube content out of this, which is kind of hilarious.
okay, they are. I would say they are very similar, but for different reasons. Basically, I already explained age regression, but age play is when an adult
It's some kinky shit.
uh
We don't have to go into
yeah,
depth per se.
yeah, a fetish pretty much. Yeah.
Ugh. Make my fucking skin crawl just hearing this shit. My bad. Um. So the difference is essentially just one is some old ass motherfucker who's a weirdo beating a schlong to it. The other one is trauma response, essentially.
Yeah.
So, why in public worlds, especially, since they could just sit at home, do it in their own privacy, behind closed doors, no one would know about it, no one would hear about it. Why in public worlds?
There's like more or less like a few reasons. Again, well, for me personally, I would assume that it's because a lot of age regressors are not over 18. So usually they don't have a lot of money to purchase supplies that could probably help them in that mindset, like aka coloring books, pens, pencils, like cute clothes. But in VR chat, you can wear those type of avatars, cute, chibi, like anime, childlike, and other reasons like this platform, VR chat, is more or less like a social media, and so you will find like many types of people, and so like you could like run into people with they're called caregivers, and basically they act like either like a parent or a guardian for the person who is age regressing, aka helping them like do things like drink water, eat, make sure they go to bed on time, like help them with like things they need. Pretty much that. The reason.
dealing with trolls when you're running these types of worlds?
Oh, goodness. I I know it sounds bad, but I have a favorite kind of troller. Just my favorite kind of troller is ones that will like join the instance and like run towards the gate, but it's like locked, and then they turn towards the staff and they said, "How do I get in?" I don't know. It's just funny every single time. But it's like really hard actually. Like people don't really educate themselves on it, but sometimes we get people that are educated on it, but just come in to be like really mean for no reason. They explain the questions we ask them like really good, but then we let them in and they start like spamming like the N word, or they write uh bad, like extremely bad signs everywhere. If you have things like emojis turned on in the instance, they will just spam like gore and things like that, and can be like really harmful for the people who are in there for like trauma. And I don't think they really understand the severity of like it is common and just, I guess, pretty funny if like someone is like acting like a baby and you don't understand why. But, like, really, whatever someone else is doing doesn't really it shouldn't bother you as long as they're not hurting anyone or themselves. So yeah, it's, like, really hard to, like, dif differentiate
Differentiate.
you know yeah, really hard to, like, tell who the age regressors are and who the trolls are. And so, yeah, that's why people get kicked so easily. Like, you say one wrong thing and you're
I just
out.
mentioned the word
Really.
YouTube and I get like publicly executed.
Yeah, everyone gathers around YouTube. What's your channel?
So, yeah, that was mindless. Big round of applause to him for coming on the interview, obviously. The next person, it was a much shorter interview, so I might be able to play it in its whole, but I'm not sure because this is pre-editing Cam talking. But it was a much shorter interview, and I found him in one of these servers, and he was willing to do an interview, but he is not one of the group, like, owners, so I did not ask him any of those type of quote-unquote group-related questions.
Fine, I'm fed 13. I go by he Hammer. There.
13 and you're doing this shit? Damn. Alright.
It is a coping mechanism or a trauma response to past trauma.
Well, like, what is it? Like, what do you do during it? That type of shit.
Basically, you go to a younger state of mind.
So you act like a little kid.
Technically, yes.
Just because of any kind of trauma, or is it, like, specific, like, linked?
Everybody has a different way they go regress. If it's related to their trauma.
So, some of it isn't related to the trauma, then?
Yeah. It's also related to stress. Exactly. But if they have no trauma, then it's considered an aged dreamer.
So there's a different term for it.
Yes, there is.
Huh.
Age play is a sexual kink or fantasy of when one another dresses up as somebody younger, like a baby, like 1 to 2 years old, and they have sex while looking like a baby.
And the difference between the two is...
Age play is a kink. Age regression is trauma. Honestly, it's not that big of a trouble. Honestly, it's not that hard to fucking ignore people, so.
Really?
It's
Because
like,
so far from what I've heard, it's
yeah.
like the complete opposite reaction.
Yeah, mainly the staff is just sensitive as shit nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, like, bro, I got kicked earlier for wearing a rat avatar, bro. Basically, age regression is a thing you can do anywhere. Some people feel more comfortable with it being around people, and some are more comfortable with it in private.
But, I mean, like, more, why do it in a public world where you know there's gonna be, annoying people, nuisances, and, like, trolls?
because there's such thing as a caregiver that basically comforts them or stuff like that.
Could you go a little more like in depth on that type of thing? Because again, I just want to make it clear this is all coming from like a completely outside perspective.
A caregiver is that basically takes care and comforts the age regressors whenever there is a issue going on.
So basically, just like someone who follows them around to make sure they don't get shit thrown at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Interesting. Is it like very normal for people who what's the word again? Regress to have them?
What'd you say?
Is it very normal for people to who regress to have them like caregivers?
Yes and no. It's like half out of most do.
So it's pretty normal, but not everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you saw, we kind of speed ran through the interview on accident, and in editing, I'm kind of realizing, especially like this guy was kind of a dick, especially in the beginning. But who's to judge, right? I guess. But next person that we are interviewing is a group owner. I'm gonna put the group up in post. Her name was something Bunny. I kind of forgot. I'm not scripting this part because I don't fucking feel like it. So yeah, everybody welcome her.
Yeah, I'm Bunny. I'm 18, and am I supposed to add anything else, or is that like?
You can add, and you can say anything you want. I'm not holding you back, man.
I don't really have anything else to say. I joined Vrchat like a couple maybe years ago, I think. I recently got more into it, making friends and everything like that, and being a part of the age regression community on Vrchat. So that's really about it.
All right. So again, just to clarify, you are both an owner of a age regressor group. I can't remember the name for the life of me. Something about My Melody, and you are an age regressor yourself, correct?
Yes, I am. Well, obviously, like the overall kind of thing, it's a coping mechanism for people who went through like a bunch of stuff, either in their childhood, or just in life. Some people that even experience trauma through like teenage years, like that's why adults tend to also regress. But like I regress because I went through a lot of stuff, and it generally is like it's a calming thing. VRChat doesn't necessarily make it calm, but like I do it off of VRChat for the most. I do it more off of VR than I do it on VR, and that's where I feel safe, and it's just a comforting thing. So, honestly, I've never actually had to explain this. This is good. Give me a second. I might mess up the wording a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry.
But so the difference between age play and age regression is one is obviously a coping mechanism, and the other one is a sexual thing that people do. Honestly, like I know the difference, I just don't know necessarily how to explain the difference. Like the real only difference is that one is completely like safe for work and the other one is not safe for work. And the fact that one's a coping mechanism and one's a kink.
So
That's pretty much the only thing that like differs the two of them. Because in a way, the only thing that's generally like the same is the fact is that we're going back into a younger like state. That's like the only thing that is generally the same between the two of them.
Huh. So one's basically just people beating their schlongs to it. The other one is just people doing their own thing, essentially.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much the difference.
All right.
So yeah, because these are opinion based. My opinion is I feel like I want people to. So I came on VR to like also regress is because I want to find more people that are like me. Like there are other places I can, like Discord. I own, obviously, as you can see, I own a server. And there's a bunch of other servers out there too. I think VR chat's just more of like a more interacting than just texting. And okay. And that's why I think people generally do come on VR. I prefer to do it in the comfort of my own home and just kind of do it on my own. But I do go obviously in these worlds and I will be little. But I think it's honestly better to do it just like with yourself or like on a Discord server and talk to other people because it's necessarily can be more safer and it's not as bad or toxic than like VRChat's like terrible when it comes to age regression. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
But
especially with how much shit.
honestly, I've never really had to deal with them before. Like I feel like I guess the only thing that people do during count as trolling is when like there's a crap ton of people in a lobby and they're just like yelling a bunch of crap. It's just like it's just a simple kick. Like it doesn't really get too much into it. It's just a kick, and then they usually don't come back. Or I usually ban them from my group so then they can't join it like later on when I open other instances. But that's
I
pretty
think
much
the
it.
reason kicking they don't join back is because when you get kicked, you get banned from the world for like 3 or so hours. I think I'm not sure if it's more or less.
I think it's 1 hour if I'm right. I could be wrong
I
though.
have no idea if these types of worlds get trolled like per hour basis. Let's say.
Honestly, like with the instances I've been in, I don't think they've really gotten trolled while I've been in there, but I'm not in daycares that much because I also have like my own like personal life like outside of my age regression.
Right.
I'm like honestly, I'm usually in daycares more like at nighttime or like in the early morning. But like aside from that, I haven't seen really anybody get trolled. I'm not in there long enough for it to honest to God happen.
Because from what I've heard, it's a lot of people seem to over exaggerate it. Because even from what I've seen, it's not super frequent. It's usually just like one group of people per like hour or so, and you just kick them all and you're good to go. But I've heard people say like, "Oh yeah, it's like every other person's a troll. It feels like blah blah blah." But at the same time, it feels like they're just borderline paranoid at that point.
I think it's mainly just to keep the little safe. Like sometimes I'll like even if I don't think that they're gonna be a troll, like it could be based off of an avatar or groups that they're in. I'll just kick people just to not like like I don't want to just say I'll just kick people, but like based off of like yeah like avatars and everything like that. I usually kind of or how they speak. I kind of just will kick people. Just to keep the little safe. Like, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a kick, and you could come back later and explain that you're not a troll, or you could DM me. Like, there's so many other options that you could go to, and people have done that. Like, they'll be like, "Hey, you kicked me, and I don't really know why," and I'll explain it, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then I'll be like, "Yeah, you're welcome to come back in. Just remind me who you are, so then you can go right in." It's only like an hour kick. I feel like people like get very like like they're very sensitive to being kicked. I generally have to add that if any other like daycare owners are like viewing, stop asking people what age play is and if they know about it. It's weird. I don't like when I go into instances and they're like, "Do you disagree or do you agree with age play?" Like I'm here to be little. I'd rather not know. Like the way I see it is that you shouldn't be asking that. Like
So, that's it. It went pretty well, if you ask me. You know, most of the people that I talked to were pretty nice. Special thank out to everyone I interviewed. This includes Bunny and Mindless, of course. Also, thank you to Luke, if you're watching this, for helping me get some background footage. For those who are wondering, the game is called Tactical Assault VR. It's on most VR platforms for like $20, I think. It's pretty fun to make this video. Yeah, hope y'all have a blessed day.